Donald Burns is an active voice in Colorado to end homelessness. The Burns Center, in connection with the University of Denver, conducts research and provides technical assistance to policymakers and organizations. He's here today to offer us some advice, 5 things that we can all do to help our communities, and he's joined by Michelle Crandall, a Burns Center intern and was at one time homeless herself. So excited to meet both of you and talk to you more. First of all, share your story a bit.
So when I was in high school, my dad lost his job, and we ended up actually having to move into a motel. So half of the time I spent my time at a motel, and then the other half I was with my aunt and uncle. And it was pretty interesting because at the time I didn't really identify as being homeless. A lot of the times we only think of the guy on the street corner holding a sign as someone experiencing homelessness, when in reality there's so many other people that are experiencing homelessness.
And they're living with dignity. I mean, they are still a person.
Absolutely.
Every situation is different. Donald, what are some truths about homelessness that we need to know? I mean, I've heard that we are all a paycheck away from a situation.
There are lots of things that we need to know, and Michelle has just identified one of them. Most people are not guys who are flying the sign or lying on the sidewalk. In addition, if we took everybody who is experiencing homelessness and those who are at significant risk of becoming homeless, we have a deficit in this country of 7.5 million units of housing. It would take, every state would have to produce 150,000 units of housing overnight to eliminate the deficit. In terms of low-income renters, they're spending 87% of their income on housing, which leaves them roughly $1,000 a year for everything else.
So if we're looking at, we have the statistics up there on the screen, what would you say is the first thing that we can do right now to be proactive in this effort?
The first thing is what I call people first language. We talk about people experiencing homelessness rather than homeless people. And that focuses on the condition of homelessness and not on a personal trait.
Right.
And it really is very important.
Now, what about the second thing that we can do?
The second thing is we really need to focus, everybody needs to focus on overcoming stereotypes. I mentioned the guys flying signs, the guys lying in the gutter. That's a very small proportion of people experiencing homelessness. Most of them are families with kids or exiled youth. We don't see them.
And then numbers 3 and 4, you would say?
Number 3 is write your elected officials, get them to produce more resources so that we really can do a job ending homelessness. Number 4 is go and volunteer at a service agency and or donate funds for those agencies to work.
Or to learn, the fifth one is to learn more from people like yourself. And you have your message that you shared in your book and also the University of Denver, Ending Homelessness, Why We Haven't and How We Can. What is significant about what you have written?
The book contains a number of important things. One is a description of some of the demographics of homelessness. We have chapters about some very good programs. We talk about some of the barriers to really ending homelessness. We also have a chapter by a woman who herself was homeless through absolutely no fault of her own. A very, very strong, stirring chapter. And then we have a wonderful chapter by a professor who talks about our culture and how it breeds homelessness. So there's and then at the very end there's some good ideas about how we end the problem.
Now, what is the crowdfunding campaign? And that's going on right now.
Yes, it is. We are working with various officials and departments to try and understand more about homelessness across the state of Colorado and figuring out what kinds of services are available, what kinds of gaps there are in services, what kinds of things do we need to do to improve housing and services for people across the entire state. And we now are working on a pilot project in 2 counties, Weld and Larimer County. And the crowdfunding is really to help us carry out that pilot project.
Now, Michelle, as we close, life has changed a lot for you now. Some of your future goals that you thought you would maybe never be able to set, or what you would like to do?
Well, I want to start out just graduating. I'm a graduate student right now at the
goal.
University
Yes.
of Denver, and in June I'll get my master's of social work, so that's pretty exciting.
Social work, perfect. That'll be so wonderful for you with your
Yes.
message. Thank you for all your help.
Well, thank you very much for inviting
Keep us
us to be.
updated.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, this is a
We
great
will.
topic, and it's always something that needs to be discussed. And good luck to you. We'll keep up. We're going to keep our eye on you.
All right.
That's for sure. Donald Burns is a scholar in residence at the University of Denver. You can reach him. Email donald.burns@du.edu, or you can visit the website du.edu/Burns Center. There are some very important yet easy things that we can all do to help homelessness in Colorado. Pick up a copy of Donald Burns' book, Ending Homelessness: Why We Haven't, How We Can, at bookstores and e-tailers all over. And also the campaign is hooked up to the website as well that you can check out more. So there's a lot of different ways that you can get the information.